Check that out. Ooh. Yo, welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. In today's video, we are doing an unboxing and first impressions of VeloBuild's VBR 177 super lightweight frame set in this custom chameleon purple and blue glossy paint. Now, if you are new to my channel, my name is Patrick Lino. I do cycling content and I build bikes. And most recently, I became a hypocrite for switching over from rim brakes to hydraulic disc brakes. So without further ado, let's begin. Now, full disclosure, VeloBuild and I did come to an agreement to send out both a frame set and wheels for the sake of this review, as well as future videos. I'm still waiting on the wheels, so a review on those will have to come at a later date. I would also like to explain my goals for this channel moving forward into 2022. If you've noticed now, I now have 3 disc frame sets from 3 different Chinese manufacturers in my studios. And if you count my Yolio R6 rim brake aero bike that I built up last year, that makes 4 different Chinese bike brands in my possession currently. So what that means is I am committed to showcasing the quality of these frames that are coming out of the Far East across different price points, so that hopefully one day I can become sort of the voice of Chinese bikes in terms of reviews for any customers in the United States that are looking to purchase a Chinese frame, but maybe are a little bit hesitant as of today. So I want to be able to answer any questions you may have so that you can make an informed decision about your purchase. With the current state of the world affecting both production and shipping times of name brand bikes, it's very clear that there is an opportunity for these Chinese brands to disrupt the marketplace and offer a level of value that has been unseen in years past. And lastly, having spoke directly to some of these brands, they are all making great strides to improve their transparency as well as their customer service, specifically to English speaking customers. So in this video, guys, about VeloBuild, we're going to be discussing 7 topics. Number 1, who is VeloBuild? Number 2, what does open mold frame mean? Number 3, why I chose to work with VeloBuild. Number 4, the specs and pricing of the frame set and wheel set. Number 5, the ordering process. Number 6, the overall first impressions I have for this frame. And number 7, which is my plans for building up this bike. So starting with number 1, who is VeloBuild? Well, VeloBuild is a China-based company who offers quality bikes and carbon accessories to customers around the globe. And because they have their own factory for production, they can offer direct-to-consumer pricing without a middleman. Now, they have 10 years plus of bike e-commerce experience, with their warehouse being in Shenzhen, China, which is a city known for bike production. Number 2, what exactly does open mold frame mean? Now, if you spend any time online or on the forums or even on some of these bike websites coming out the Far East, you'll typically hear the term open mold. But what exactly does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean generic. Rather, it's more so a patent or a license that has since expired from whatever bike brand originally held that license for that mold. And so once that patent or license expires, that mold is now open to any manufacturer to use legally. But please take all this information with a grain of salt. Now, number 3, why I chose to work with VeloBuild. Well, when they first contacted me about sending me out a frame and wheels, I had a lot of questions, mostly about their production process. For a $500 frame, I expect a lot of other people will also have a lot of questions. So it piqued my interest to see how well this $500 frame can stack up against other frames that are being priced under the $1,000 USD price point. Now, VeloBuild was very transparent about their production. In fact, with my order, they included one of their EPS latex molding patterns that they use to inject inside the frames. And what this does is this makes the frames incredibly smooth on the inside, eliminating folds, lines, creases, and makes the frame overall more uniform, which presumably means a stronger frame. And I'll even take it a step further. VeloBuild also included with my order a broken down, cut up carbon frame so that I can actually inspect the insides of the frame to prove the smoothness of the frames. So what you're seeing here is part of the production process from VeloBuild. So on the left here is the EPS latex molding that I was talking about, and on the right here is a cut up, broken down carbon frame. So how this layup building process works for the carbon fiber frame is VeloBuild will inject this EPS latex molding into the frame, and what that does is that allows the inside of the frame to be a lot smoother than it typically would, which means there won't be any rough edges, which should in turn mean a more consistent and stronger frame set. So here we have, this is the chainstay. We have here, this is the, what is this? This is the down tube. We have the top tube as well, but it's gonna be hard to tell in the camera, but the inside is actually really, really smooth. I just don't wanna touch it because there are some carbon fiber residue that's not exactly good for your bare hands. But yeah, guys, everything looks really smooth. And like I said before, just the fact that VeloBuild was willing to send this with my order shows that they really want their customers to know that what they build is of high quality. So let's continue. And I would have to say any company that's willing to go through all that with my order shows that they are really working hard to prove that VeloBuild is not just some quick, rich AliExpress bike brand. They are in fact the real deal. And they're trying to prove that their frames are of high quality regardless of the price point. Now moving on to number 4, the specs and pricing of the frame set and the wheel set. So starting with the frame. So the frame here, this is VeloBuild's, this is their 177 super lightweight frame, which is their flagship frame, along with their 168 frame set, which is their more aero approach to a frame set. Now the 177 uses T or Torre 1000 carbon fiber, which is some of the lightest yet strongest carbon fiber available. At the time of this video, this frame set here cost $499 USD before shipping, and that includes a carbon seat post, headset bearings, the hardware, and your choice of integrated handlebars or a separate handlebar stem combo. You got to think that's a pretty sweet deal for only 500 bucks. And custom paint is $70 extra USD. Now, as far as sizing, I went with the size medium, and I went with a 120 millimeter stem and a 40 millimeter width handlebar. And for reference, I am 6 feet tall. Now moving on to the handlebars and stem. For the stem, we have a -6 degree stem angle and a reach for the handlebars of 75 millimeters. Now, despite being a separate handlebars and stem, fully integrated routing as far as the cable goes is still possible. In fact, it's the only way to route them. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and do a real world weight on the frame. Now, please note that the weight of the frame includes both metal derailleur hangers, it includes all of the plastic grommets for the cable routing, and it includes the metal internal seat post clamp. Of course, the paint is included as well. I did remove the bolts for both of the water bottle cages. So let's see. Alrighty, so for the frame, we have a weight of 1,044 grams. Not bad considering all the parts that are included, bolted onto the frame, including paint. And this is for a T1000 or Torre carbon frame. Now for the fork, now granted this is an uncut fork, we have a total of 363 grams. Next up, let us weigh the handlebars. We have a total of 248 grams, not bad. And finally, the stem. And for the 120 millimeter stem, we have a total of 179 grams. Let's continue. I actually forgot to weigh the seat post, carbon seat post. With all the bolts and hardware is 206 grams. So 206 grams for the carbon seat post. Now moving on to the wheels, like I said, I don't have them in my possession just yet, but I went ahead and ordered just some generic wheels with some generic Novatech hubs. I think the retail on those is about $300, maybe $350. And so I'll have a separate video on the wheels as soon as they arrive. Now moving on to number 5, which is the ordering process. Well, it's just the same as any other brand. My recommendation is always to find the frame, wheel set, or accessories you're looking to purchase, then email VeloBuild directly to see if what they have is actually in stock for your order. And then from there, you'll work back and forth with their customer service, which I will say their customer service, they definitely are on top of things. I didn't have to wait any more than 24 hours for a response, which is really good. And then shipping to Chicago here in America was about 2 weeks because everything was in stock. Now moving on to number 6, which is my overall first impressions of the frame set and the handlebars. I actually don't really have any anything negative to say at this point, if I'm being honest. The paint quality is really good, and hopefully there aren't any chips that will form because I heard that is the thing based on some of the reports on the cycling forums. Now, despite the fact that the shipping box was basically destroyed upon delivery, I gotta say VeloBuild took a lot of time and care to wrap everything individually, and so I really appreciate that. Overall, I can say that at this moment you seem to get a lot for your money, and like I said before, it's very clear that VeloBuild wants to provide a super quality product that punches above their weight. And number 7, guys, final one, my plans for building up this bike. I'm gonna make this bike sort of my dual purpose lightweight travel bike as well as my cyclocross bike. Now, with a tire clearance of up to 32 millimeters, I should be able to use this and take this along for most places and maybe do some slight adventure riding, we'll see. And with it being an affordable frame set, I don't have to worry about banging up some precious $7,000 USD bike during traveling or doing airplane transit. So in conclusion, guys, VeloBuild is not trying to compete with the likes of Seika, WindSpace, or even Yolio. However, they are making an effort to raise awareness in the quality of their products, specifically to the Western world. And that's where I come in for both the testing and for scrutiny. So I'm really interested to see what the final weight of this build is going to look like. And like I said, the color of this is amazing. So that's about it, guys. That about wraps up this video. Let me know what you think about VeloBuild and your own experiences. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them down below. And I will check you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.